Well, welcome to day 2 of my thrilling spring clean of the boat. I didn't do the kitchen cupboards yesterday because I ended up getting bogged down in all the hoovering. I've done all the hoovering on the boat though, so that's a plus thing. So now what I'm going to do is going to take everything out, give the cupboards a clean, give all the stuff a clean, put it all back, and we can have a little nose and see what I've got in my cupboards while I do that. There's no sort of real dirt or mess in there, so I'm just giving it a little bit of a go over with some Windoline just to sort of get any dust off and make it smell nice and fresh. So what have we got? Well, this cupboard on the end, I sort of keep the long life stuff, sort of tins and pasta. Bit of tomato soup, can't go wrong with that. Baked beans, another one of my staples, and tin of spaghetti rings. Don't really have them normally, but I mean they're there in case. So you know, just the sort of thing you might want on a cold summer's day, unfortunately. And the rest of it is just a bit of tagliatelle, a couple of pasta sauces. Got a pesto there. That's nice actually, the old passata, very tomatoey. Stirring sauce. I've got some sweet corn, but I'm going to have a look at those. I think I might have had them since I started cruising, so investigate that in a minute. Spaghetti. Let's put these packets back. I've got a few of these. These are purely for emergencies, just sort of pasta sauce things ready to go. I don't eat them normally, but I keep a handful of them in, you know, just in case you end up moored miles away from the shops and you don't want to move, or the weather's horrible or something. Then, you know, it's an option, isn't it? Bit of mashed potato, the spaghetti obviously, and a bit of old parmesan. Right, that's that one. Right, I've cleaned everything all ready to go back in on this cupboard, so let's have a quick look what we've got. I've got my selection of rices. I've got arborio rice for doing risotto. I've got basmati rice, obviously sort of Indian based things with that one. And a bit of jasmine rice, a sort of slightly nicer alternative to long grain. Then I've got condiments, bit of ketchup, got to have a bit of ketchup, haven't you really? What else we got? Brown pickle. This is an Aldi Bramwell's sweet pickle. It's the only one I've found that's even close to Branston. So normally I always buy Branston because nobody else's brown pickle is anything like it. But that one does. Yellow pickle, on the other hand, weirdly, I find that you can buy almost any sort of yellow pickle and it'll be quite similar to piccalilli, so I don't know why that is. And just to complete the set, I've got a red pickle, a tomato chutney. That's quite nice for a change. Okay, what else we got? We've got the old Maggi liquid seasoning. This one's the hot one, only because I couldn't get the normal one. I didn't like it much at first, but I've been finding it does go quite well on chips, interestingly enough. pickled onions, balsamic vinegar, bit of the old reggae sauce. Got to have a bit of that, haven't you? Again, good on chips. Marmite, I've inadvertently got 2, but I mean that's not really a problem, is it? I'll get through those. Bit of honey. Now I only ever use honey when I'm doing parsnips, and the bottle's a bit knackered because the honey goes hard, and every time I want to use it I have to either put it in hot water or a few seconds in the microwave or something like that. But you know, it keeps going, and there's another sort of serving or 2 in there, so that can go back in. Bit of custard. Something I do sometimes in the winter when it's sort of very cold for a lunchtime and I want a really sort of warming, sort of nice, sort of hearty sort of snack. I'll get something like, you know, you get those sort of like Bramley apple pies in the Co-op or somewhere for about sort of £1.20 for a sort of smallish apple pie, and I'll do that over a couple of lunches with some custard on, all nice and hot, and that makes a really, really sort of nice treat for a sort of cold winter's lunch. You know, when I'm not on a tomato soup vibe, obviously. A giant salt, because you can get one of these for 30p, but if you want to buy the little shaker one, they're about 69p, so don't know what's going on there. So I've got enough to last me a good few years. And I don't have a lot of salt now because I've got high blood pressure, so try and keep off of it. Another hot sauce there. Bit of vinegar, normal vinegar. Now I got this. It's balsamic vinegar with truffle oil in it, truffle juice. I got this on a trip to France a number of years ago, and the reason I still got it is because, ooh, yeah, it does actually smell like cats. White spirit vinegar, distilled vinegar. Now you know what that's good for? You can put that in your dishwasher and run that on a quick cycle, and that really gets it clean. It's as good as those sort of dishwasher cleaners that you get that cost sort of £2 or £3 for a little thing. So that's always worth having. And bit of vegetable oil, and I keep that in a dish because for some reason, whatever you do, it always goes gunky, doesn't it? So let's put that back in a second. And that's about it. Tin of peas. And got everything out of this one. This is all ready to go back in, all cleaned. Top shelf, I've got my herbs and spices. I used to have a lot more of these actually. I like these, but I thinned them out some years ago. And what I have got, I mean, to be honest with you, I rarely use ground ginger. I mean, yeah, I might use that if I was going to cook something. Sage, turmeric. I put a bit of that on things now and again just for colour. Chives. I've got fresh chives growing outside, so I don't need them. Herbs de Provence, do use those. Oregano, do use that. Marjoram, that's empty. Does that mean that I do use it or that I don't use it? Tricky one. Basil, don't use that. Prefer fresh. And coriander leaf. Might use that. Then, this is good. Dunn's River Everyday Seasoning. I like to sprinkle a bit of that on stuff like chicken or what have you. In fact, it goes on most things. Clues in the name. So that can go there. Then I've got salt and pepper grinders. Himalayan salt's particularly nice actually. It's sort of a bit sweeter, but again, I'm not really on a salt vibe nowadays. So, and then got some packets of stuff. Got piri piri So Juicy in the bag chicken things. Those are great. Really, really nice. Similar thing. Another sweet chili chicken thing. and then a curry powder, and a couple of different sort of creamy sauces and things. So this cupboard is sort of just cooking bits, gravy granules. Get them going again, that'll be alright. I think there's some more somewhere. No? Yes. Turkey. I'm hoping they'll keep until next Christmas. We'll see. I'll look after them. Stuffing. Garlic paste, puree. That's alright, actually. It's quite useful. Cup of soups. Again, a sort of boater's cold wintry sort of afternoon warming treat. Oh, this stuff I like. It's another condiment, a seasoning condiment. Winery Prutwawa. It's unpronounceable but quite nice. It's salty, which probably isn't a good thing, and it's got celery extract in it. And you can put this on, I put this on salad actually, it's quite nice. Or you can put it on chips, or yeah, pretty much anything. Good thing that though, but you can't get it in certain parts of the country. As you start going west, the supply sort of dries up. So it's more kind of a London centric thing because it's Polish. Someone's probably, you know, up in Newcastle going, oh, we've got loads of that up here. But just from my experience, I found that the further I go from London, the less I can get hold of it. And I haven't seen any around lately around these parts either. So when I do, I'll have to buy two, won't I? Right, so I'll finish that off camera because a little bit of jigging to do there. But basically that's cupboard number 3 done. Just found these open, so waste not, want not. A couple of things I forgot actually. Got all my selection of oxos. And got my Mexican seasoning, which goes really nice if you're doing anything sort of chili based actually. Not forgetting this actually, it's tandoori powder, but if you buy it at the supermarket, if you get it on the Indian aisle, you can buy like half a kilo for, I don't know, £1 or something. But if you go round to the normal aisle where all the other herbs and spices are, you get a tiny little pot like that for about £2. So worth bearing in mind. And that's really nice when I'm doing chicken portions or something, sprinkle a bit of that on, makes them really tasty. If I'm not going the so juicy route, obviously, one or the other. Anyway, that's that one. Right, next one. So, putting the stuff back, this end cupboard's sort of sweets and treats really. Got my essentials in there. Can't beat a good bar. Biscuits up on the middle shelf. These are nice actually, I've finished them. Eti or ETI tea biscuits. They're chocolate flavoured. They're quite subtle actually. They're not sort of sweet. They're just very, very light, very, very crisp, and they've got quite a lot of sort of cocoa taste to them. And they actually do work well with a cup of tea. I find sometimes a chocolate biscuit can overpower a cup of tea, but these don't. They're just right. So, but you can only get them from one shop in particular. I forget which one it is now. It's one of those sort of, not pound shops, but one of those other sort of Savour Plus shops or something like that, that sort of does hardware and a bit of food. You get them there, and they're not cheap. I think they're £1 something for 2 packets. So, you know, they're not giving them away, but they are nice. I've got my tea. I always have Tetley, in case anyone's interested. I think it's the best one you can get. A bit more crisps, big crisps, bit of choc, bit more crisps. I've got some grinding coffee there, but don't know where the thing for it is. Well, not grinding coffee, ground coffee. I still don't know where the thing is. And something else, don't know what that is. And a bit of old cocoa powder, nearly empty. Don't have it very often, makes a treat. And then I've got this, actually. Oh no, this is interesting. I use powdered milk. And I don't use it specifically because I have trouble storing milk or anything like that. I don't get through very much milk. I just have a little splash in my tea, or in this case a little spoonful in my tea. So I get one of these and it just lasts and lasts and lasts, and it saves me buying milk every sort of several days, that most of which gets thrown away. So that works for me. Other people don't like it, but I do, so that's fine. Here he goes. And I think that concludes everything I've got in my cupboards. There you go. 2018, I thought so.